Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the Metaverse update number 18, and today I just want to talk about a few interesting developments in the Metaverse. One big one being that the FTC has launched an in-depth antitrust investigation into Meta regarding the recent purchasing of Supernatural, which is a VR fitness app. Talk a little bit more about that later. Another thing I want to talk about is some use of force training going on in VR for some airmen out of the Air Force, military police, so I'll talk a bit more about that. And then additionally, I want to talk about how Rec Room, the popular social recreation app that is available on most headsets, they have raised an additional $145 million in funding and are now at a valuation of $3.5 billion. So that is very exciting for the metaverse as a whole and the expansion of virtual reality across the global market. So let's just dive right in. So the FTC has launched an antitrust probe regarding the recent purchasing of Supernatural, which is a subscription-based virtual reality app that competes with a number of other virtual reality apps on the Meta store, not the Oculus store now, it'll be the Quest store or the Meta Quest store, whatever they might call it. The point is, this is an app that has been competing with many other apps, one of which is Beat Saber, but then there's FitXR and a number of other fitness apps to go along with that. Supernatural has been doing really well. I personally am not a huge fan of the subscription model, but if you are someone who doesn't go to the gym, I could see it being a value for you if you're someone who likes to work out, but don't really want to go out. Supernatural really does give you quite a workout. So if you are someone who doesn't really want to go to a gym, Supernatural and its subscription model may be for you. I'll include a link to the Quest store's listing of that, so you can check out a trailer if you're interested in it. But yeah, Meta has just recently acquired them for north of $400 million, from what I understand. I'll include links to the article below. This is a huge purchase. And it understandably is attracting an antitrust probe. Reason that this is understandable is that Meta is the gatekeeper for virtual reality in a lot of ways right now. The Quest being the most popular home use virtual reality device, and the Quest store being the portal through which you purchase things. So the ability to feature, promote, and otherwise funnel consumers to Supernatural in lieu of competitors is a power that Meta wields. And so understandably, this needs to be looked at, because the question will be, will they afford the possibility for other fitness VR apps to compete? And if not, is that a problem? So that is that. I will provide updates as updates occur. I'll be watching for new developments in this probe. And, we may find that the FTC does approve the deal, and it's not a problem. But it is important that this is investigated, because it's important to ensure that monopolies don't occur. I don't really have an opinion on whether or not it's the case. I think that as long as they give a fair shot to other fitness apps in the VR space, then it's no problem. The issue would be that they don't allow for that sort of fair competition. In my eyes, anyway. I do understand, too, though, that there are other mechanisms of distributing your app, and it doesn't necessarily have to be through the Quest store. So there is definitely a really strong philosophical argument to make that Meta has the right and privilege as the gatekeeper, as the store shop owner, to promote its product, because of course it's their business. So I guess we'll see. The question is, what's their responsibility as the main store through which people buy VR products other than Steam? So it's Steam and Quest store are pretty much the two big ones. So that's that. Rec Room, a really popular recreational social app, which is available on a number of headsets. I played it on Quest and Quest 2 a lot. It's quite fun. There are a ton of fun games, and it's social, just like Altspace VR and Horizons. So really cool app, really fun, intuitive. It's raised another $145 million in funding, and it is now valued at $3.5 billion. This is great in my opinion, because it will, I think, point out that Meta is not going to monopolize the mind share of social VR. One, because they were really just too late. Rec Room was out way before them, Altspace was out way before them, and there's a number of other VR chat and a number of other things. So this is good. Competition's healthy in here, and I think that having social experiences across the metaverse is really important. You can't have one person being in control of the entire sphere of interactions and socializations occurring in the metaverse, or else you're going to have huge conflicts of interest. You're going to have people defining their rules and people being held to those rules, and not have the option to create their own, new neighborhoods in the metaverse that they may want to have different rules. So it's good to see Rec Room's raising some money there. If you haven't tried it, I do recommend playing it. But yeah, that's all for that stuff. Finally, I wanted to talk about how at Hill Air Force Base, airmen, military police for the Air Force are utilizing virtual reality to train on high stress situations, to train for decision making and situation management. I think that's a great thing. I did another video about Wrap Technologies doing something similar with police forces, and I think they're working with military and some other people as well. I don't really think it's news to anyone that first responders have to deal with really high stress situations and really fast paced situations, and due to that, they're put in a situation where they have to make decisions on a dime, and it could be the right decision, it could be the wrong decision, and that's why I think that it's really important that virtual reality mechanisms are used. Virtual reality in a broad sense. The main point is that you need immersion in order to help these people get better at handling situations that ideally they're not going to have to handle. Ideally, those situations don't happen. But when they do happen, you want people to be as equipped as possible. And creating an immersive training tool for that is really important for allowing that. So, for example, they may have a standoff situation or any sort of situation where a firearm might be pulled on them, or that they will have to use their firearm or to de-escalate situations. So anything like that, virtual reality can do wonders. It's already been shown through tons and tons of data that a special type of learning can occur as a result of virtual reality, and the data will become clearer and clearer as time goes on, but it's very obvious, I think, to most who are aware of the powers of VR, that this sort of training is leaps and bounds ahead of any sort of drill or role-played situation that you might encounter in traditional training courses. And although those are great, you can't really create the same effect as experiencing as close to a live event of this stressful fast-paced situation with virtual reality. Being able to really put the airman or whoever the first responder is into the shoes of the actual experience, to actually put them on the battlefield, to actually put them in the high-stress encounter where they have to make a split-second decision that can alter the lives of those around them as well as their own, and can decide whether or not they die or someone else dies. Things like that. And teaching de-escalation drills in, truly frightening scenarios that they may have to encounter. Virtual reality is perfect for that. So I'm really excited to hear that. If I see more stuff about it, I'll tell you about it in other videos, but you can check out the link below if you're interested in learning more about it. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. If you liked the content, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll talk to you guys next time on the Metaverse update number 19. Thanks for joining. Bye.